thank you to Draculis for providing the video behind me. Um, you want to catch out his videos. He doesn't do any commentary, as far as I know, and he's a pretty good player from what I can see. So, uh, this is a rant. This is just a rant, and I'm to the point where I haven't played any kind of first-person shooter war type of game, or pretty much any first-person shooter game other than Fallout in 19 years. And you want to know why? It's because of the online multiplayer. You've got a bunch of kids, literally kids, anywhere from 8 to 14 years old, running around, shooting things with reckless abandon, and there's no sense of a campaign in a Call of Duty game anymore. So I was talking with a buddy of mine the other day about this, and I came up with an idea. But I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Now, the main reason why I haven't played that is because there's no such thing as run and gun in real war. When you've got campaign mode like what Draculis is playing over here, you've got mission objectives, you've got a team that's working with you, you've got a firefight, you've got rooms to clear, you've got all of that, but you don't have that in multiplayer. Now, the main reason we don't have that in multiplayer isn't because there isn't the ability for people to perform these tasks. It's just that they don't. Okay? You've got capture the flag, you've got team deathmatch, you've got deathmatch, and pretty much every single person, whether you want to believe it or not, are just going to run and gun their whole way through. And I just can't do that. I am a veteran. I have been in many, many a firefight drill. Okay? And not a single one of them, not a single one of them is actual tactical warfare, like what you're seeing here. You got people going in, you're clearing out rooms, you're taking people out as soon as they come out. Like, this is what I want to see in multiplayer, and you just don't see that. You don't have a crew. You just have a bunch of kids and people who don't know how to really fight in a war running around and shooting their guns with reckless abandon. Okay? Now, I just can't stand it. And that's why it's been 19 years since I've played, because nobody wants to obey any kind of rules other than, like, kill them all. You know? Like, that's not how war works. And this game, and games like it, are about war. So what I've come to think about is, what if there was a game where you did have a multiplayer team aspect, to where you can perform an objective, a real objective, with real rules and real consequences. Okay? So what my thought is it, I don't know, have it be Call of Duty, have it be the Division, have it be something. Probably, probably something Tom Clancy or something Call of Duty that if you're not playing by the rules set forth by the game, you lose the match. You just lose. Like, you have a task that you're supposed to perform. If you don't perform that task, or if you go off the rails, then you're done. Your whole team is done. The match is over. You lose by default. Other team wins. So what's wrong with what's wrong with doing something like that? I haven't heard of anybody doing anything like that. You know, like, for instance, okay, say you have an airport hangar. Okay, you're in an airport, for instance. Okay, you've got a man on the tower with a sniper rifle. Okay, you've got three guys that are protecting the objective, which we'll just call those launch codes, okay? Just for the sake of argument. Now, you've got three guys protecting the launch codes, and you've got two guys patrolling the perimeter And then on the other side, you've got a team of 6, 2 that flank on either side, 3 that are a forward strike force. They come in and they take out the main set of guards that are protecting those launch codes. And then you've got one guy who is a recon agent and the person who retrieves the launch codes. Okay, so you've got 2 people patrolling the perimeter. If they're not patrolling the perimeter, if they're not doing their job, sorry, match is over. You got 3 people that are just standing around waiting for the strike force to come because you're guarding an objective. You're guarding those launch codes. And you've got a man in this, and you've got a man in the flight tower where air traffic control is, with his eyes on everything. Okay. Now, it is the man in the tower who's supposed to be watching out for his patrol guards and watching the entrances of the hangar where the launch codes are. That's his objective. You've got 2 patrol units to patrol the perimeter. That's all they do. They patrol the perimeter. If somebody comes up to them, you got to kill them. And you've got 3 people guarding the launch codes. And then on the other side, you've got the recon agent, where his only purpose is to go and catch recon, figure out the enemy's position, and come back to the team and let them know what's going on. Or hit them up on the radio to let them know what's going on. You've got 2 flankers. Their job is to take out the patrol guards. Once they've taken out the patrol guards, one can go for the man in the tower, one can go for the forward strike force. Something along those lines. Okay? Or your objective is over, and you go back to your spawn point. But I assume that most people would want to be getting into a little bit of the thick of it, because, you know, it is a shooter game, and what's a shooter game if you're not shooting? Now, what I'm thinking is, you've got 90 minutes in order to take care of your business, okay? You've got your recon agent. He's going in. He's taking a look at everything. He's seeing where everything's at, seeing where everybody's at. He's letting everybody know where those launch codes are, and they could be anywhere in that airport. You know, they could be in a hangar. They could be in the terminal. They could be in the arrival section. They could be in baggage claim for all we know. Okay? And then that forward strike force, once they know that those patrol agents are taken out, then their job is to go in and take out those guards that are protecting those launch codes. What's so wrong with that? What's so wrong with that kind of tactical warfare? Why isn't that found in any game that you can possibly imagine that's not a campaign mode? Where's the actual team-based gameplay? There's not. There's some people who might, somewhere off in the world, somewhere say, hey, I'm going to have a tactical strike force, and we're going to actually do this the way it's supposed to be. But that's all because they want to do it that way. Okay? That's all because they want to be that way. And they have a few friends that they can get together and do that. But the game doesn't have that. Only the campaign has that. And not to mention the campaign. Oh my goodness, the campaign. Okay? So you've got a campaign that used to be anywhere from 8 hours to 20 hours long in one of these games. Now it's down to 4. Now it's down to 3. I've seen people go through a campaign in 3.5 hours. 3 hours to go through a full campaign like this guy here. This video here is 5 hours long. 5 hours long. And it's not because he's cutting scenes. It's not because he's doing anything. All these scenes are going in their full spectrum. Every cutscene, every cinematic is there. And it takes him 4 hours to flawlessly pull this off. Once again, Draculis, you, you're a good player. You know what you need to do, and you do it. But this needs to be a multiplayer aspect where you're not fighting AI, you're fighting other people. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that, man. There's no real there's no real aspect of war in this game anymore. In any of these games. Black Ops, Modern Warfare, Warzone, whatever you want to call it, there's no tactical warfare anymore. And that needs to be brought back. It just needs to. There's nothing, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Running and gunning is boring, especially for someone who, oh, I don't know, doesn't play these games, hasn't played a first person shooter war game in 19 years. But I tell you what, man, I get into a match that's just like I described, and I'm doing my job. I'm performing my proper objective, you know? Oh, that person who does recon, have them put up in a sniper rifle. Have them put up on a high ground with a sniper rifle to take out the other sniper or maybe help take out the patrol guards or cover his buddies in the firefight. Forward strike force can move wherever they want to. The guards, once alerted, have to stay in a certain area. The patrol agents have to stay in a certain area. They're patrolling the perimeter. That's where they have to stay, on the perimeter. If they get taken out, they get taken out. If the other team gets taken out, if they take out their flankers, they continue to patrol the area. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. If you don't do that, mission's over. And the same goes for the other team, too. If your flankers aren't going out and following the directed path of taking out those patrol guards, if you just run and gun into the hangar where the launch codes are, match is over. If your recon guy doesn't grab his sniper rifle and hit up on a designated high ground, have there be multiple designated high grounds so that he can pick between 3 or 4 different locations and give him a certain time limit to get there. If he doesn't get there within the time limit, or if he goes off base or off kilter or off mission, mission's over. They loot. Forward strike force. If you run over and if you run over into the control tower and take out the sniper in the control tower, mission's over. You didn't do your job right. You failed. And then, if you fail, your whole team failed. Your kills don't count. Mission's over. Let's get this done. Let's do this. Let's put this in a game. That's my rant. Peace out.